Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome. Here, I'll fix that. There we go. Pretty easy. I now have my mouse that is working, and oh wow, pardon that. And I'm doing something in the background, really just waiting for this thing to load. 5 hour course. It's fine. So let's see. Let me see. Today we are playing some TCR, otherwise known as Total Conflict Resistance here. And oh, we got a truck there. I'm just trying to remember because we didn't really do anything and we didn't need a whole lot of anything. What's the garrison looking like? Fully made of squads. It's cool. It's doping. That's dope. Where are we producing the pistols at? Nordscar. Today, because this is supposed to be more or less a yeah. We don't need that to do that. We don't need you to have vehicles in the slightest. Alright, so where's the 20th Castle Battalion? Hey guys. Clicking that button right here, the rearm button, will equip vehicles. However, clicking the supply button is what supplies them with ammunition, alcohol, and their various luxuries and amenities. Although they will take automatically from the city if they run out of certain things. So yeah, got some fuel. I don't really need a whole lot of fuel, but they got some fuel. Do these guys have fuel? Because that's something I've not checked up on. Hello? Let me see. Rose? Rose, do you have fuel? They have 1,000 fuel, and they have fish, but no bread. That's interesting. So fish can be used as a food resource. That's very nice to know. The only bad thing about this map and this game is that they don't have you automatically producing fish. That's something I'm gonna want to do soon. So, yeah. But I have my mouse working, which means fighting in battles is going to be a lot better, a lot easier. Something to note is that they don't have 15 over here anymore. I am going to want to wait a little bit for the diplomacy and a little bit for my production and whatnot to get sorted. Um, but yeah. What's really important is that you just try to keep everybody from hating you, because as soon as they hate you, they start to declare war on you. Even if they have no means of actually continuing the war, they'll just continue to go in on you. Let's see, 45. Do we have anything we can do politically? Politics. So army laws versus civil laws. Okay. Killed in the war. Maximum stability in the country. Cost of passing the law. One-time cash payment. So, if for nothing else, you definitely want to keep 10,000 grand on you at all times because these things will cost money. All of these cost money. Not a lot of money. Yeah, I think this is actually the biggest amount of money. Long-term planning. Employee of the Year award. Some of these hurt your stability. Some of them really help your stability, like this right here. I might actually want to hold out just to get this one instead, because it's way cheaper and it does pretty much the same thing. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I'll wait for that one law, and then I'm going to go ahead and declare war. Do we need anything else? I think what I'm going to do... No. Oh, yeah, we're researching flippin' militia. Never mind. So you can click on this. When you click on this, this edits what the uniform looks like. This is purely cosmetic. They do have a little bit of body armor with this. So, because we are about to go to war, I'm going to make the police officers look a bit more like civilian contractors. Oh, that's very annoying. That's very annoying. I'm going to go ahead and click on all of these real quick. We'll do that later. So face changes. Oh, it's supposed to change their like nationality and stuff. It's interesting. God bless America. Yeah. Only struggling a little bit. Oh my goodness. It's the one I wanted. I'll have to go through this slowly. There we go. Alright. Face, mask. Mask for the police officers usually just gives them shades, and I do want to give them shades. This changes the amount of armor they have. You definitely want to give them some armor. There we go. Pockets. Pockets just change what type of straps they have on, which if they have a jacket, it doesn't really matter, but I don't like the fact that it shows them with an M4, because it's not very realistic. Neither is it, and it's fairly distracting, like this big weapon is so big compared to the person. So big compared to the person. I don't think that's properly scaled, now that I'm looking at it, because an M4 is really not that big. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit skinnier. And if it was properly scaled, it would look better, but it is what it is. Do we have black? Alright, there we go. Black pants. And shoes don't really matter, but I'll give them black shoes. Save the uniform. And now all of our police officers should more or less look very similar to that. Squad editor. Not super important. Do police, infantry police. This is actually what the AI uses to assign to your units, and as you can see, some of them are loosely based upon what I just edited them to be. I don't care about that too much. Can we actually change the head? I think there's a slight change that it actually does, but I don't care too much. All I'm going to do is I'm going to look in here for things that I don't want them to have. Like this pistol. Change all of these to the Colt 1911, and we'll throw a sight on it if we have it available. Make sure you take an RPG if you can, and just save squad. Now, you can, if you want to, copy to entire squad. I'm not going to do that because we don't have enough guns. Excuse me here real quick. We don't have enough guns to do that. I'm going to turn down the music. For me, the music is loud. I'm pretty sure I turned it down for you guys, but music volume can be fairly loud. It sounds nice when you don't have headphones on, but it's fairly distracting for me. Did it not turn down the music? Did it not turn down the music? We'll do that. Sure. I don't hear too much of a difference in the music. That's slightly worrying, but okay. Let's see. Authority, stability. Police detachments in cities, garrison or battalion that's taking place in a city. Products, food, alcohol in cities, that helps your stability. It also helps. That's not. No. It also helps the morale of your troops. So, yeah. What's in this city here? With fuel? I'm gonna send 1,000 to each of these 2 battalions. Just 1,000. You don't actually need a lot of fuel. They don't use a ton of fuel every day. So it's not that... I forget which one I actually gave it to. Should be fine. Should be fine. We'll just hold on to a little bit more in case if we sent it to the wrong ones. Should be fine though. Hopefully they diverge. Please diverge. Please diverge. Nope. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Because you can't tell them to drop it. Although they do just kind of automatically drop, if I'm not mistaken. This is the button that you can do. Supply makes them pick up ammunition and food. Just gonna go around and say, hey, all of you guys need to pick up your food. That's the wrong one. So you don't need to supply garrisons individually. They supply directly off of the city itself. Oodle. I'm going to actually sell this truck. I'm going to suggest that you don't always sell trucks, but in my opinion and in my experience, trucks aren't 100% usable. They're only usable for like a rush tactic that I'm more than likely going to be showing off here soon, but it's really only useful for rush tactics, and rush tactics aren't actually all that profitable in this game. Let's send, yeah, 30-ish, 30-ish to, I have to remember the name. Was it Rebensbot? It doesn't matter too much. And the only reason why it doesn't matter too much is because I can actually maneuver it around as long as they don't force. Give me 5 seconds. Alright. I don't care about that too much right now. So, Rebensbot, where is the Asin? What is it called? Vosdalen. Vosdalen needs a few militia uniforms. Because they don't always start off with nice trade agreement. Sombro is going to be very important for me. I just need a lot of trade to go up and around. Alright, all of those should be in. The reason why this militia is important is because properly equipped them with a few ammunitions. Yeah, they don't have any bullets, that's fine. Then it's this. I don't care too much about that. What am I gonna do? I think I'm going to definitely, I just realized this. We're gonna ship out 50 to Rebensbot, and about another 50 of these are gonna go off to, I think it's called Husby. I'm going to just assume it's Husby. It's an Arvik. It's whatever. I'll just shift them over. So I saw somebody get really frustrated at the supply in this game. They call it bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not what I'd call user-friendly. It's leaning very heavily into the realistic mode, you really have to want to be an actual general and feel like that you're a general in order to enjoy it, which is not bad. It's just not very, well, user-friendly. Let's see here. Do you all have your militia uniforms? It's important that, okay, it's Narvik that needed the militia uniforms. You have 4, you have 25. Where's your garrison at? Alright. We're not too worried about you actually having militia uniforms anymore because you should definitely have full uniforms now. I will go ahead and do that though, just to make sure. Where is... okay. No. The city, there we go. Now the police uniforms are something that you're definitely going to want to actually start to consolidate and prepare a bit upon. Let me just make sure that Narvik has its police in there. It does definitely have police. Let's make sure that I don't remember which one is which for RPGs. It's rearm. The rearm button makes them grab RPGs, but the RPG rockets. Where are they? Oh shoot! Did they all get used up? And because your troops will automatically equip some, not all of them, and not always the rockets and ammunition. Let me just see if I can go ahead. Fish is useful. How much money do we have, though? Definitely grabbing those rockets. They're going to be very useful to me. We're not going to grab any of these trucks because they're not super useful. They're not useless, but they're not super useful, so not interested in it. This is Russian ammunition, if I'm not mistaken. Russian sniper ammunition, because I know for a fact that times 51 is the NATO variant of 7.62. Or one of the NATO variants of 7.62. Let's see, what else? What else? I want to hold off a little bit on getting some of this stuff. Remember, wood is not going to be useful to you. Wood boards is the thing that you're going to want to buy. Stone and wood boards help you build buildings. Wheat is not going to be useful for you. And usually most nations actually produce wheat. However, if your nation does not produce wheat, just go ahead and check up on that, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have 2 places producing wheat. It tells you right here. Something to know about your production, because I also saw somebody else make this mistake. In order to produce something, you some materials actually need a specific dedicated, what's it called? A specific dedicated factory for it, or manufacturing plant for it. So in order to produce bread, you need a manufacturing plant to produce bread, or a bakery, I think they call it in this game. You can only produce one lineup, one production slot of bread for each bakery you have. Just like wheat, we only have 2 farms, 2 wheat farms, so we can only produce 2 different things of 2 production lines of wheat. Now, 2 things of wheat can easily pay for, I think it's like 3, maybe 4 bakeries, and you need 2 bakeries to basically feed your nation. I plan on making a bakery, and then a fishery, and then another bakery, and we'll see how that runs. Usually I just make 2 bakeries, and it feeds my nation. It gets a little gamey sometimes, because you run out of food fairly quickly in a lot of places, but it should work, it should be fine. But what I will do here is, yeah, we'll wait a little bit longer. It won't hurt to wait a little bit longer. Definitely won't feel nice, but it won't hurt to wait a little bit longer. Let's see, where's the garrison at? We'll go ahead, we'll rearm. Check the supply. Check the forces. The reason why I'm making sure the forces rearm is they're supposed to have regular armor on, and they're supposed to have elite slash special forces. That's the difference. They look similar, but they're slightly different uniforms that they got here. So check all that, make sure everybody is using their proper uniforms that I need them to use, and then I'm going to go to the supply. And we shouldn't need any more militia uniforms in here. We only need police uniforms. How many police uniforms do we need? 30-ish? I'll keep 30 in there. How many police uniforms do we need in here? Only like 20? Okay. And we have 25. That's more than enough. We don't need any militia uniforms, so we will send that to the capital. Capital being Nordstar. I'll go ahead and start consolidating our ammo a bit. Oh shoot, they needed that, didn't they? Whatever, I can just send them like 4 grand to Vestalen. The Colt M1911. We'll send some of this out to the front lines. The front lines is going to be Rebensbot for us, and the rest of these can go ahead and off to not Arvik. Oh, you can send them straight to... I have to remember which battalion that is. Iron Skull. Send this to Iron Skull. That's probably a more efficient way of doing it, because if you send it to the city, then the garrison might pick it up, and you might not want your garrison to actually pick up these things. But it's fine. It's fine for me. I don't care too much. We got some Benellis. These Benellis, they're shotguns. They're actually pretty good shotguns. They're not great, but they're definitely pretty good. Let's see. 12.7 by 99. We're actually gonna send 2 grand of each of these to, 2 grand of this to each of the 2 combat battalions that we're gonna have moving around. We'll keep like 500 in the capital or something. Weapon spots. Send it to the Rose Battalion. Sending all of this stuff out should not take a whole lot of time, but yeah. I don't think they actually consume meat. I think it's just used for one thing and one thing only. And that's for canning. But I do know fish can be used for canning, and it can be used to eat as normal food. It replaces bread, from what I understand. So the garrison's all set here. We have 20-ish police uniforms there. The militia should be set here. The garrison needs 30-ish uniforms there. That's fine. Let me see here. Forces. I'm going to go back into the squad editor real quick. And I'm going to make sure that my police use only the type of pistol that I want them to use. Now, I will say that, yeah, I definitely don't want that happening. Nope. The sawed-off shotgun, definitely just get rid of it. I think the mod is that it can have it can have the butt. What? It already should have the butt. The normal version has a butt. Are you kidding me? I don't know why that exists I mean, I know why. It's a cheap gun that's not going to be overpowered to give it to the character. Go ahead, I'm gonna fix not that. Please cap blue save squad. We don't care too much. It's AKMS. I like how they show that the AKMS is supposed to be like some rusty version of the AK. That's kind of funny, even if it's not true at all. That's not a true AKM, but that's fine. It is an AKM, it just has an attachment onto it. An attachment that allows other attachments, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. It's fine. It does its job. AKM? Yeah. So, you might ask, why is this important? Why are you doing this? The entire purpose of this is that it doesn't limit the AI, but it definitely seems to give it a heavy incentive of whether or not I'm gonna make sure that all of the NCOs here, that's the corporals and the sergeant, that they all have something. Colt 1911, Karakano, shotgun. I think I'll keep the shotguns for now because we don't have enough things produced for it, but it gives a heavy incentive on what the unit is going to pick up. Since I have that set up like that, it will give it a heavy incentive to only pick up the guns that I have it, basically giving them permission to pick up these types of weapons. Okay, Narvik needs militia uniforms, probably. You don't need militia uniforms. You only need 30 police uniforms. We'll keep like 35. Which means I'll only send 30. And we'll send like 30 out to the... We'll just send it to the capital. Sending this to the capital, that's for sure. That's the good old NATO ammunition that we're going to need pretty soon. Let me see. Bread, all of these resources here, I'm not going to bother with them. Wheat, I'm not going to bother with either. Let me see. Why do we have wheat here? We can sell this wheat. Wheat is not used for food. Wheat does not matter. Oil is not used for anything. Oil does not matter. We can sell some of it, although I am going to want some type of fuel refinery or something. You usually run out of resources very quickly in this game, so I'm not going to start selling too much resources, because I want to have something later on. You're probably going to need militia uniforms. You may or may not need it, but we'll see. Let's switch out these guns, yeah. No? Alright. You should be fine, but we'll just make sure right here. The garrison, check the supply of the garrison. You should only need like 20 police uniforms. Let's go ahead and send 30 of them back to... Let's send them, instead of back, we'll send them up to, what's the other place? Narvik. Narvik and, Rebensbot. There you go. Shoot, I just remembered, because we can produce the uniforms. We don't need 12 by 99. Not a lot. We don't need a lot of 50 cal. First aid kits are nice to have, but honestly they're not essential, because first aid kits, what they do is if a person is injured or severely wounded, it allows them to be recovered as manpower. However, the amount of people that usually get severely wounded is very few. You'll have like 5 severely wounded, but you'll have like 50 dead, so you're only going to save 5 men. Later in the game, it might be useful, but for me, right now, what I'm going to do, what I'm worried about, is more in the uniforms, because the uniforms decide what type of soldiers you can actually reinforce and maintain the battlefield versus med kits don't really save a lot of manpower. And I'm just going to wait for this diplomacy mission, and then we're going to basically be declaring war upon these guys over here fairly soon. Speaking of which, I have to remember what I'm doing here. Husby is set, right? Husby is set on police and on their militia uniforms. Assen is set on the police and the militia uniforms. Yep. Reservist, we might want to move up now that I'm thinking about it. We definitely want to move them up. Yeah, okay. Reservists. They're a resource in this game. It's basically manpower. If you have an E4 brain, you're moving around manpower. That's the way you should look at it. 24 is fine. 24, we will move it to the capital, not to the front lines, is a good piece of information to tell you. The reason being is because don't be surprised if somebody attacks one of these villages and then you lose the village. If you lose the village, you lose all of the resources that you stored there. So the money, the building materials, and whatnot. Fairly painful, very painful, but definitely not game ending. Unless if you do something silly like stock up your frontline cities and then lose your frontline city in a battle. That would be very silly, wouldn't it? We're going to go ahead and kind of stock up the capital here. What else? We'll go ahead, stack up the capital, this. So 5.7 is actually ammunition used in a type of pistol that I'm not very concerned with keeping or using. That being said, don't sell all of it like I'm gonna do. Kind of sell a lot of it for a little bit extra cash, but it's not something you should do. We're definitely gonna buy this fish. Food, you'll realize pretty soon, in this game is actually really important to have. I'm gonna make sure that we stock up a bit on ammo. Vehicles, don't buy a lot of vehicles. Especially if they don't have guns on them, they're not very useful. Give me one moment, I'm gonna pause the recording real quick. Alright, let me just bring us on back here. So, Vasdalen is set up. Ashen should be set up. Is Husby set up? I think I did set it up. Yes, I did. Okay, good. Garrison. Alright, has more than enough police uniforms. Nordscar. That's someplace that I did not set up. Now, rearm. Because I rearmed them, you'll see that they have a few of these cults. For some reason, we're not producing a lot of ACP. It is being produced in Nordscar, but for some reason it's just not flowing throughout the battalion yet. I don't like the way that it... What? Oh yeah, that's right, because there is no resupply for the garrison. Okay, that's interesting. This should have distributed the ammo, but it did not. Anyways. Yeah. But as you can see here, the pistols have been redistributed throughout the actual police force. And because these are the weapons that they were told that they're allowed to have. Oh, okay, I see where all the pistols went. Because they definitely took all the pistols. Well, not all of them, just most of them. We're gonna take this and we're gonna just sell it on the world market. A little bit of cash, definitely useful. Let's see, what else? What else? What else? We don't actually need the police uniforms here. So let's make sure that these guys are all set up with what they needed. Did they have weapons here? They only have RPGs. Let me make sure that the Rose actually goes ahead and picks up these. There we go. Now they should have picked up actual rockets. It wasn't a lot, so yeah, it was not a lot. Interesting. Can I tell them to go to the actual... No, I cannot. But I can tell these to go to them. I don't care that much. Excuse me. Rose. Pick up what I told you to pick up, yeah? There we go. No, yep. It picked up all the RPGs. And I sent the rockets to them personally, so they definitely have those. The garrison is set up. The police, or the, I like to keep at least 5 militia units in the garrison, and at least 1 police unit. These airports and the naval port, they usually don't need a lot of police in them. 100 police uniforms I don't know if I like. But I do also know that, oh my goodness, that's a lot of 50 cal ammo. Hey, Iron Skulls, do you have your ammo, bro? Do you? Yeah, you definitely have your ammo. I don't think you really need a whole lot more ammo. Where's Narvik? I don't actually like having all this ammo in one spot, so I'm gonna send it to Rebensbot. It's nice to actually send your resources close to where they're going to be needed. Again, we're waiting for this diplomatic mission. It's like 10 days. Go ahead and do that. Uh-oh, what's going on here? There's somebody that can make a simple water mod, because I'm pretty sure that this water takes up a good amount of processing power. Just before the other thing, okay. So we got one of those, but one thing I do want to do here is just get a fishing port. It needs 35 stone boards and 35 boards and 50 stone. It's the same thing as this. Is it the same exact thing? It is pretty much the same exact thing. However, we're actually going to be able to... Oh, please tell me I clicked the right thing. Cancel. I think I clicked the wrong thing on that. I need this one. There we go. With that, we can actually start producing bread, which is really important. Having food is significantly important. Now, it's not going to start... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate, but I no longer really care. I don't care in the slightest. We're going to start this. Go right on in. Now, justifying a war goal, I don't know if it's worth it, but I don't like not having a war goal and jumping in without one. Because either way, from what I know, it makes all of your diplomacy, all of your diplomatic international relations go down just immediately by 10, which is why I was trying to get those relations up, but I cannot afford too much of a delay, because if there's too much of a delay, we actually, oh, this is something that we're actually going to do. We're going to take everything from the front lines right here, and we're going to send it straight to the capital. Money, it's only 180. We're not too worried about money like that. Send that to the capital. Send the stone to the capital. Something I like to do, if I know that I'm not going to keep the city, instead of looting the city and relying upon the game for it, I find that just manually taking all of the resources from the city and then just abandoning it in a loose sense is a lot more efficient than actually trying to. We're going to, because these cities don't actually eat a lot of food. You can see right here, monthly food intake, weekly food intake, and all that. They don't need 3,000 food, whereas Nordscar, that's the wrong thing. Here we go. Nordscar takes like 1,000 food every month. So let's go ahead and shift around the food a little bit to be a lot more proficient. Okay. So yeah, let's see here. That looks to be fine. That should be fine. Is Husby the place that we're making bread at now? It is indeed. Alright. So something you can kind of do with the places that are producing food is quite literally just start taking all of the food from them. And with that, we should have a good amount. Now, for quite some time, it's actually going to go down, but that's only until the production, what's it called? The production efficiency goes up. Because as you can see here, right now, it's only at 23%. So it only produces this bread every, like, 96 hours. If we can get it to 100%, which is not very likely, it produces it every 48 hours, but it's probably going to be around 76 hours, which is 76 to 72, which is going to be more than good enough. And when it produces the food, it's actually going to produce a fair amount. So we're almost broke, but that's not too much of a worry because we are producing a lot of just about everything. Something that is a good idea to do now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to do that. Yep, never mind. Okay. We can't. Not right yet. That's fine. It's completely fine because we're going to just send it to the Iron Skull. We're gonna send 50 of these to Narvik. And then with Narvik, that I should spread it out a bit. There we go. Adaptations. Definitely want to start getting RPGs and RPG ammo out. Next, after that, can I do that? Have they fixed it? Nope. No, they have not. It's fine. We can actually cancel researches now, which is something that you used to not be able to do. I don't find that making regular units is very useful for now. You do get head armor, so it is useful, but it's not a significant difference from what I know. So, you see here there's no helmet, so we can't actually do anything about it. Grab that. Let me see. Alright. Face isn't gonna matter while we still have the mask on. But I might keep the mask on. That's unfortunate. Please give me my helmet back. We're gonna do that with that. Mask, armor. Oh yeah, we're definitely keeping the armor. Blue boys. Blue boys. Blue boys. The pockets can be black. They're not black. There's not black. We will be fine with green. And the pants can be black instead of... Alright, I do hate this system right here. There we go. The boots... I don't think we can actually change the boots. Not really. Okay, that's fine. Alright, now we're just waiting for diplomacy to get through. Unfortunately, yeah, they're gonna get about 13, and they should have, I think, like 5 in here. Let me see. No, they'll only, yeah, they'll have like 5 instead of 10. The other one has 10. It's fine. Usually the AI does not wait for a war goal. I don't like the way war goals work. I think it should hit your everything so much, really. But they do. I forgot to do the thing. Yeah, there we go. Grab some police. We're gonna make like 5 of them. These police detachments will actually help with send them some more ACP. Not all of them, just most of it. Send them another 50. Narvik will be kind of a depot of resources, but that's fine for now. Let me see, what's the garrison doing? Go ahead and switch that on out. We getting low on resources. We're good on copper, of course. Good on aluminum. We should check and see if there's any iron. Not any of that. Okay. I know that truck has a gun on it, but I'm not hurting for that much. We're not really hurting for ammo. Fuel would be nice to secure. We might want to make iron, because there's a lot of iron ore that we can sell, but we might want to make some iron. Do we want to buy more cloth? How much cloth are we using right now? Kind of a lot. Let me see. Secure some cloth. We're not using a lot of stone. We'll hold off for a little bit longer. It might be a mistake, but we'll hold off for a little bit longer. For really just about anything else. We already bought some fuel, if I'm not mistaken. We might want to buy some more pistol ammo. And that should be good. That's right. Politics. Do we want these? Oh, hold on. Employee of the Year award. We might want to do this one. We can't do both, but they both cost roughly the same amount of political power. I think I'll reward my soldiers first. diplomacy. This should not. Oh, it takes 9 days. That's annoying. Non-aggression pact, no. Oh, it didn't kill as much as what we thought it would for our international relations. We're gonna keep this unit inside of here because we need to oh, we're gonna definitely sell those. Keep that unit inside of there. And we're gonna just try to make sure that they fill up on ammo and whatnot, which is nice. That's really nice. What else? We're going to send a bit more of that ACP down. Should be good. Let me see. How many more guns do we have? We'll send like 30 to Narvik. Because they need about... I saw that they already had one. They already had one full. They have basically 2 of them that are full. 1, 2, 3. 31. They need 31. What's the garrison doing? They're also kind of using them, but... Dang, are you serious right now? Okay, they're kind of using them, but not all of them. And I made sure to send the ammo to the actual battalion, so we're not worrying about whether or not they're actually... Okay, but I should do both of those things. Hold on. Reservist needs to get sent to Narvik. Not a ton, but enough to keep it going. Nice. Fish factory. And with 2 options here, we can have Asen make food as well, which gives us a benefit of not needing to produce fish, or not needing to send food to Asen, and perhaps being able to send out food from Asen. No, I think we're good on that, actually. I just realized, because we already did that with Vastalin. So we already have to only worry about sending food to 1, 2, 3, 4 different ports. 4 different places. Honestly, one of these places doesn't eat any food at all. Let me just check and make sure I'm not regretting that. Yeah, 270, 360, 90. Okay, yeah, they're fine. We can definitely 120, 150. Yeah. Nothing compared to the 1,400, which is why I usually don't worry about whether or not I should send food over here, because you can literally just send in food every few weeks, and it shouldn't be too bad as long as you pay attention, of course. Stalin, perfect, it's awesome, it's amazing, it's wonderful. We're just waiting on that diplomacy, and then we'll go to war. War is the only solution. So, continue, click play, slow it down the speed. Let's see, it did not hurt our relations as much as I thought it would, which is amazing, actually. That's wonderful. So they fixed that. Improve relations over here. Send in a small bribe. Alright. With that, I will say we'll save it for the next episode. Let's make sure that's up and running. Hold on one moment. If you like this video, please go ahead and throw a like. If you like episodes, if you like things like this, or grand strategy games, please check out the channel and consider subscribing. If you didn't like the video, throw a dislike. But most importantly, the most important thing is try to have a nice day, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.